Hey, good morning, guys. It's Justin Ford with the morning message, and today is Monday, May 5th, aka Cinco de Mayo. And maybe you've heard about Cinco de Mayo before, but that's really what my message is all about today. Today's morning message is 12 years ago today. Guys, 12 years ago today changed my life forever. 12 years ago today is the event that shifted and altered my life to be where I am today, guys. You know, as some of you may know, my later teenage years, very similar to a lot, but if you don't know my story, from the ages of 17 and 19, I acquired 8 misdemeanors and a felony, 2 drunk drivings, nearly lost my life multiple times, overdosed, almost died, got into a drunk driving accident that almost took my life, lost my license for 10 years, dropped out of high school, had a baby at the age of 18, and just was on a path of destruction. But no matter how messed up I was, no matter what the problems and the circumstances were that I was going through, I always knew there was hope. I always knew that there was something better for me. I always knew that I was created for greatness, even though I didn't know all the details. And I would always pray and ask God to intervene and help me to change my life forever. And 12 years ago today, Cinco de Mayo, I woke up. I was 19 years old, and I worked at Rio Bravo. Some of you guys may have heard of Rio Bravo. It's a restaurant. It's like a Mexican restaurant. And Cinco de Mayo is a Mexican holiday, so I woke up. It was on a Sunday, went to church that morning because I was on track to begin turning my life around, but I didn't really know how it all worked. I didn't know, what it all meant. I knew that I was 19 years old. I knew that I had made a lot of decisions and my life was going down the tubes, and I realized that something needed to give, something needed to change. So I began to seek God in my life. And 12 years ago today, I went to church. And then after church, I was on my way to Rio Bravo because I was a server over at Rio Bravo restaurant. And little did I know that a few hours later after church would alter and change my life forever. Had no plan or ideas of going in there and acting crazy or anything like that. But there was there were some things that triggered a behavior in me. There was some techno music going on. It was a big party, and even though I was trying to change my life, I was in an environment that really tempted me and caused me to really lean in the wrong direction. So I thought at the time. So restaurant opens. It's about 12 o'clock. People start coming in. Cinco de Mayo is a big party, and all of a sudden, I started taking drinks from the bar. The bartender was sliding me drinks. And I'd say by 2 p.m., I was completely toasted. I was completely wasted. And I ended up getting fired later that day because, and I don't remember this, but they said I was drinking margaritas out in the parking lot while working. One of the managers saw me, and I got fired. Now, early on, I'll rewind to that morning. I was living with my mom and my stepdad. They had let me come to live with them. I had burnt all my other bridges. I had, been bouncing around from house to house. I was basically homeless. And my mom let me come back in because just a week prior to Cinco de Mayo, I got baptized. And I was really serious about changing my life. And my mom and my stepdad told me that they believed in me and that they were letting me come live there because they really felt that I was trying to change my life. And that morning, my mom gave me the keys to her car to go to work. And I went to church, and then I went to work. And at 2 p.m. that day, I was fired, and I was completely smashed drunk. So what did I do? I jumped in my mom's car, and I took off. And at 2 p.m., there was a lot of blurriness as far as what was going on throughout the day, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I ended up at the other Rio Bravo, was drinking drinks over there, and ended up getting kicked out of there as well. So later on that night, it was on a Sunday, I went downtown to St. Andrews, and St. Andrews had the Electric Kingdom about 12 years ago, and I went into the club and was drinking there, underage, and I got kicked out of there. So everywhere I went on Cinco de Mayo, I got kicked out because I was drinking, and I remember sitting out in the parking lot, and I remember, drinking in my mom's car, just completely, smashed. I mean, I was way gone at that time. And I remember, being in Greektown, which is a part of Detroit. And then after that, my memory went completely blurry. I don't remember anything. Next thing I knew, I was standing next to a state police officer on the side of I-75 here in Detroit, looking at my mom's car smashed into the wall. Don't remember how it happened. Don't remember how I got there. I just knew that I just got into an accident and smashed into the wall. Come to find out details later, my head hit the windshield. My head was all like bruised up. My arm was all bruised up. They took me to the Detroit Police Department. I remember standing there on the freeway, and the next thing I remember, I'm on the phone with my mom at the police station, letting her know what happened, and just completely wasted. They said I blew a .21, which is 3 times over the legal limit here in Detroit, and from that point on, I was locked up, for 2 days in the Detroit jail. My mom, basically, after just giving me her trust and, basically giving me the keys to her car, that morning, I basically, I screwed up. And she told me, she says, "You're not coming back here. You need to go get help, and you need to check yourself into the Grace Centers of Hope." The Grace Centers of Hope is a Christian treatment center in Pontiac, Michigan. And I realized at that moment, 19 years old, after everything that already had happened to me, that this was the last straw. This was the end of the road. This was the bottom of the barrel for me. And I was there for 2 days, and I realized, how I had let God down. I had let, my mom down, and I was just broken. I was broken. And I remember sitting in there because it was on a Sunday. I had to wait. I think I was there until Tuesday. I couldn't even go before a judge until Tuesday. So that would have been May 7th. And I remember going, I was in the tank with all the other prisoners, and they said that I just still reeked of alcohol 2 days later. And that morning, I prayed and I said, "God, I've already got a restricted driver's license. I already have 1 drunk driving. I already have 6 other, misdemeanors. I already have a felony on my record. I'm already on probation in 4 cities. I said, "God, if you let me out of here, if I can get out of here, I will go put myself in that Christian treatment center and I will change my life." I went before the judge. They looked at my record and said, "Wow, Mr. Ford, you stay in trouble." And at that point, I didn't know what was going to happen, but they let me out without a bond. And I kept my word because God fulfilled his prayer that I prayed. And from that point on, I literally went out on May 7th, which is in 2 days from now, and checked myself into the Grace Centers of Hope. And at 19 years old, I realized that my life crumbled, that my life had hit rock bottom, and that I needed a change. And 12 years ago, this day, caused me to first start a relationship with God, which has caused me to be where I am today, which changed my life forever. And I just wanted to share that story with you guys because it doesn't matter what you go through. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter where you've been, where you are, or anything like that, guys. God is so able to change your life. He is no respecter of persons. If he changed my life, he can change yours. And I know because I've been there. I've been at rock bottom. I've been, completely backed into a corner. I've had everything completely backed into the corner, guys, but God intervened. And he's seen me as a 19-year-old broken man and seen what he could do with my life, guys. And here I am today. And I'm sharing what truly caused me to change my life and be where I am today, guys. And it's being able to have a relationship with Jesus. It's being able to be fixed, full, and whole, guys. He freed me from the drugs. He freed me from the alcohol. He changed my life forever. And here I am 12 years later, and I live a life that I never thought I would live. And I'm so thankful and grateful on a daily basis for what he did for me. So I want to encourage you today, no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, no matter what your circumstances are, God is more than able to help you. You can rise up. You can overcome. Why? Because you are created for greatness. You are a champion, and I believe in you. And if you ever need prayer, if you never need to be encouraged on a one-on-one basis, maybe not through this video, reach out to me on Facebook. Reach out to me on YouTube, guys. That's what my life is all about. I want to give back, and I want to help as many people as I possibly can. Why? Because I've been there. And I know what it feels like to be hopeless. I know what it feels like to be broken. I know what it feels like to have just no purpose or no meaning. But God. Guys, I believe in you. I appreciate you. Today is monumental in my life. Go make it monumental for yours. Doesn't mean you got to go through the things that I went through to make it monumental. Doesn't mean you've even experienced or have gone through anything like that. But use the analogy of my story. Use the story that I've gone through to be an overcomer, to know that with God all things are possible. Have a great day, guys.